Hi, this is Eric Stoller for the Eric Stoller Show and the Man on a Mission podcast. I'm here today with Sophie Bear, the co-founder of Biohack Miami and the creative director. Welcome to the Eric Stoller Show. It's so good to see you again. We've had such fun out at your events the last 3 times, and we've got more to come. I really want to find out first, before we get into the whole events, tell us a little bit about you and, kind of this, you're such an amazing, bright light. I love working with people that have that positive energy. But tell me a little about you and how you ended up here.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
It's always a pleasure to work with you too.
Thank you.
So I'm from Germany originally.
Okay.
I moved to Miami actually not too long ago, 3 years ago.
Wow.
Yes. And my passion was always health.
Okay.
Health, fitness, working on your body, just understanding your body in a deeper level, on a deeper
Yeah.
level. That was always my passion. So one time I was rollerblading with Alex on the beach walk, and we were like, we want to integrate more preventative healthcare into a fun atmosphere. We want to make it fun. So that's how we came up with Biohack Miami.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And so, what were you doing before? You grew up in Germany.
Yes, I grew up in Frankfurt.
Frankfurt.
Frankfurt, the banking finance city in Germany.
Sounds very boring.
Very boring.
Yeah, almost like Brickell Avenue. Brickell's a lot of the banking and finance, but a little bit funner because it is Miami.
That's why I don't live in Brickell. I live on the beach, on the chill side.
Yes,
I prefer
yes.
the sunny side of life.
So what was that growing up in Frankfurt?
I mean, people are different. I value some of their qualities now that I have seen the differences in cultures. So I definitely value, they're very reliable, very straightforward Germans, very honest to work with.
Yes.
But also very cold. That's why I moved to Miami. Here, the people are nice, they support you, they support your mission, especially if you want to start your own business.
Yes,
if
of
you
course.
want to be an entrepreneur, you can succeed in America. You can succeed here. In Germany, it's very stuck. Some people are stuck into 9-to-5 jobs. They're not really open-minded. So that's why I needed to move out.
Got it.
Yes.
Yeah, we call them, Tony Robbins calls people like that belongers, right? Like
Yes.
Midwestern folks, no, everybody does this path, where entrepreneurship here is amazing. And that's what's wonderful, that you can start something with an idea. That's what I've done my whole career.
Yes.
So, you came here, and then I'm assuming you didn't start off with, hey, let's do Biohack Miami. That wasn't your first thought.
No, that wasn't my first thought. So I did my master's degree here.
Okay.
I studied global strategic communications
Wow.
and art direction.
Wow.
Fancy name. I know, fancy name. It's basically communications, understanding different cultures, marketing too. So yeah, that's also one of my passions. And then I transitioned and I was like, I want to do something more life-changing that actually helps people to live a better life. So that's how I transitioned into biohacking and longevity, anti-aging. I try to get more resources and more knowledge about these things, and it really caught me.
That's great. So now, is this the first year that you've been running it?
Yes, this is the first year.
Awesome, awesome. So tell me about the experience of just putting it together. What was that like? That kind of that first thing of, hey, we're really going to do this. Tell me about that experience.
So I would say the hardest part is finding a good venue.
Yes.
Right?
Always hard. Correct.
That fits to your needs and what you want to offer, because it needs to make sense.
Yes.
Aesthetically, visually, but also the energy in that place is super important. So we went to different venues. It was hard to find a venue. It was hard to find the right fit. And then we found the Elser Hotel, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
Two-story techno gym with the most advanced gym equipment. The gym is beautiful.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yes, the gym equipment is very advanced, and then the view is amazing too. And then it has a beautiful bay view deck where we were like, okay, here we could see different vendors.
Yeah.
Seeing a fun time, maybe with a DJ, maybe a little lounge area, some chairs, and then it has a yoga terrace on the other side where you can see the city skyline of Miami. Yeah, and we fell in love with the venue. So that was the hardest part, to find the venue.
So you got the venue.
We got the venue.
And now you got to get people excited about joining you.
Right. So, and then we also need to vet all of these companies.
course.
and do some like scientific research about them, because there's also a lot of like bullshit out there, right?
Of course.
So you need to see which companies do you want to bring in that actually provide something valuable for the attendees
Yeah.
that also is good for your health.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that was a challenge for sure.
And working with all these medical vendors, you see so many. And then like red light, like why I love these red light companies, because the owner of the company is really passionate about what he's doing. He's been doing it almost 20 years. And so if you see him at an event, he's like every show they go to with us, everybody buys everything because they see how it works. I mean, I use this every day. I have a crazy sleeping pattern. I was up at 2:22 this morning. And I'm like, what am I going to do? And I'm like, all right, I put the helmet on. I started my routine. I'm trying. Then I look at the clock again. It's 3:33. I'm like, oh my God. I just didn't get to 6:66. Thank God, right? Then we'd be in real trouble. But I find using tools like this every day, and that's why, like, when I come out to your shows as an advocate to say to people, this stuff really, really works.
Yeah.
And that's the vetting, because there's so much stuff that and we'll talk about some of the other stuff. I think that's so important, because you don't know one red light from the next, right?
Right. Yeah, and you also need to test it. And as you said before, you need to connect with the owners or founders.
That's right.
Because that's how you see, are they passionate about, and as you said, they are very passionate about their product. And then if you meet them, you can actually tell, okay, how much research did they invested into it?
Exactly.
And are they really behind their product?
100%.
Right.
And most of the people that I brought there, the amp coil, I work directly with the founders. I was just on the phone with them yesterday. In fact, they're sending me another one, so we'll have two at the next event.
Yes, exciting.
Relaxed saunas, those infrared saunas. They just gave me more. Well, now we'll have like 3 or 4 of them. And we have the silver and the black one. And believe it or not, the black one's supposed to emanate more heat. The owner of the company is a good friend of mine, Phil Wilson. He's been doing it for over 30 years. And then who else do we have there? We had, we're going to have the hyperbaric folks, Oxygen Health Systems, and they're one of our biggest clients. And the founders, one of the founders had stage 4 cancer. He came back from Afghanistan, and he came back from when the wars were there, and he found hyperbaric helped cure some of the cancer. So the people we get involved with are passionate about the products, and like, even this nanosoma product, it's like an immunity health plant-based product, and we'll have that out there. And like 5 sprays of this are helping people with like the guy who's their chief medical director shut down his practice with thousands of people based in Germany, believe it or not. He's in Germany.
A lot of these technologies are from Germany. Like, do you know interval hypoxic training?
No.
Anyways, we can, but continue. Yeah.
Yeah, so
based in Germany, yeah.
But these are tools that are now making their way into the medical offices. Yes. And now these are like moving the needle on improving people's bottom line health. I was telling you earlier, the doctor who was one of the formulators, he's 73 and his biological age is 48.
Can I try it? Should I try it?
Absolutely, yeah. Here,
well, I think I should try it to reduce my biological age to 14.
To 14, yeah. Here, we're gonna give you a brand new bottle of the nanosoma.
Yes, please.
And I'm gonna tell Becky, who's the CEO. I was on with her today.
Great.
And you just do like 5 sprays a day. I'm sure you're and it's interesting. They're saying it's moving the needle on like people who have diabetes. But it's finding, what it does is it finds like we have chronic disease or inflammation, and it moves to that area.
Yeah.
So the stem cell load stuff.
Vitamin E, very important.
And there's a vitamin
E.
Absolutely.
For
in fact,
skin health, it has so many benefits.
And there's a skin one, and then there's a gel that, like, if you have a cut, it'll meld the cut together. So these are the kind of companies that are coming to us because they're eager to get to the marketplace, and they're doing millions of dollars already.
Yeah.
So these are the people that are coming to us. And so I think that's really important, because when people come to your event, they know that they're seeing technologies that are like legit. You got great doctors. In fact, last year you had Peter Michael there, who's a friend of mine. I can show you pictures of Peter, and he was our concierge doctor at our Brickell Avenue clinic.
Yeah, he's amazing. No, we love to work with doctors. Before we go into their clinics, we see what kind of equipment makes sense to bring, and then yes, we love to collaborate with. He is amazing. I love Dr. Peter Michael.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was at Peter's office. I interviewed him, and he's busy making his own products and stuff.
Right.
In fact, him and I supposed he wanted to go into business with me. Everybody wants to do deals, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, how many deals can you do?
Right,
But
because you're present at so many events, right? You're everywhere. You're everywhere somewhere. So that's a good thing. And it's always a good network opportunity too. So that's how you
absolutely.
get also all the doctors and all these good connections to companies, because only the good companies can actually go to these events that you attend, right?
Correct. And I want to talk about the quality of your attendees. And that's what I saw first on. I met some doctors, but the overall people were young. They were all upwardly mobile. They were all serious about being healthy. I love some of the instructors you had. You had Aaron, who worked with Aaron Rodgers. So very prestigious, net people I saw there. In fact, the gentleman from Argentina bought one of these from
Yes.
ours. In fact, he's supposed to buy a bunch of stuff. We haven't caught up with him, but he's like, hey, he wants to distribute stuff over there. So what I found was a really nice cross section of people. In fact, we met these two women, and they're vetting out equipment to bring to clinics all over the world, and they're based out of Denmark. So, and this is the great thing about Miami, Sophie, is that you get such a cross section of an international flavor of people.
Right.
Right? And you get the Latin flavor, you get the German, you get a little bit of the gringo. You know, I'm in New York, you can tell. But that's the wonderful thing about, I think, South Florida. Let's talk a little bit about the classes, because I think that makes it real unique. You know, the tech is cool,
Right.
but let's talk about some of the classes you guys are doing, what people can expect when they go out to the event.
Yes, so that's definitely something unique, because I haven't seen the combination of both yet. Right?
Yes, correct.
So we have like 15 to sometimes 20 different biohacking modalities at
Wow.
each event, but then we combine it with fitness classes. So because it's also important to learn your body and understand your body. That's why we bring in breath work, different types of breath work. As you said, Aaron
Yes.
Alexander did one type of breath work. We have Ryan and Andrea. Wonderful breath work. I've heard from people that it's a life-changing experience. So you should definitely experience their breath work.
Excellent.
They work with sound, and it's more like a somatic breath work experience. And then we had Wilfrey from Germany. She is more into how to learning how to breathe. So how to learn breathing in, breathing out, the different techniques, nasal breathing, stomach breathing. So there's different breathing techniques.
Yeah.
So she's more on the educational side.
I love that, because, you know, I've been working on singing. The last time I sang, I was like in 6th grade, you know, and it's one of I've given many speeches, and it's all about breathing.
It's all about breathing,
You know?
honestly. Even the hyperbaric chamber, it gives you oxygen.
Yes.
You know? So it's also about breathing.
Correct.
In the end, it all comes down to natural things. Even all these technologies, I feel like they're all very connected to nature.
Yes.
Like sound, red light. You get it when you go into sun, like
That's correct.
sun exposure. So all of these things are somehow related to nature. That's why the venue, back to the venue, is so important too, because we have these outdoor spaces. And
Yes,
we
it's
create
amazing.
kind of a flow. It's not like a typical clinical expo style. It's like you go outdoor, then you can go indoor. So you have different areas. Anyways, and then we have yoga.
You have yoga classes.
Yoga.
Yeah.
Super important too, to align with yourself and be mindful, be present.
And I think that's a big thing. Most people are so caught up in their telephones.
Right.
And they're not present. Even when they come to wonderful events, they can't get out of that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to tell people a trick I did. I learned this from a friend of mine, and he actually bought a new phone, and he takes a picture with everybody. So I have another phone floating around, and I only have like 10 numbers, right? So when you get that number, you're on, like, remember, like, you may be too young, but years ago, T-Mobile had the Fab 5, right? You remember?
Yeah. I'm too young, yeah.
You're too young to remember that. Yeah. It's like, that's how you're way back. So I keep that phone because there's no business interaction. I can't call anybody. I have no access to my emails. Right. So it quiets down, because then I can be present, because what I'm learning, and I think maybe this is why these classes are so important, people being self-aware.
Right.
you know?
Because if you're self-aware, you naturally want to improve your health. You naturally want to buy the red light helmet.
That's
because
right.
it actually improves your overall feeling and your overall health. So if you can feel into your body and listen to it and understand what it needs, you're naturally going to do more things that helps you improve.
Without a
So
doubt.
that's why these classes are like a key factor of our event too. Yeah, we have a HIIT class.
So tell me about a HIIT
Yeah.
class.
The HIIT class we had with Tony Thomas. He was an amazing.
I know who Tony Thomas is. It's okay.
Okay. Yes, Tony Thomas. He works with athletes, pro athletes around the world. He does at Flamingo Park. I don't know if you're familiar, Miami. Every morning he does a class.
Yeah.
With 40 people, sometimes 80, up to 80, and we had him at our event, and he brings in just good vibes, good energy.
Yeah, like, he works with my buddy Ronnie, who runs what's his channel? Miami's like definitely Miami TV. Ronnie Ice, you know Ronnie?
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'll bring Ronnie out. Ronnie has a good podcast show,
Yeah.
but him and Tony are partners.
Oh, great.
Yeah, we've done. Ronnie creates his own shows, and I'm surprised you haven't run into him yet, but I'll connect you with him. You know, and the breath work stuff. You know, I was at this Healerverse thing in South Beach, and one of the women there has a breath work thing, and she says, Eric, I want to work with you, because I was all like stressed out. And she just did a few minutes, and I couldn't believe, that was the first time I ever did that. I was like, wow, I couldn't believe how it like relaxed me, and I was like, it was amazing.
Yeah, you sort of come into that meditative state, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And you know, some of the equipment has the ability to do that, but I think most people, and I find myself the same, you gotta work at it to allow yourself to relax. You know, I think that here in the United States, maybe, you know, being from Europe, you know, Europeans are more about, you know, managing their time. Like, hey, I'm going to relax and rest at this time. Americans don't think that way.
No, they don't.
They're
hustle, especially New Yorkers like you. Like, they're ambitious, which I also like. But yeah, sometimes you do need to rest and just like, otherwise you don't understand. And Miami especially is so fast paced.
Yes.
It's so fast paced. Everybody is in and out, and there's so many things you can do. There's so many options every day. There's so many options. So it really comes down to just like feel within.
Without a doubt. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. This is Eric Stoller for the Eric Stoller Show and the Man on the Mission podcast. I'm here with Sophie Baer, co-founder of Miami Biohack. I'm going to be right back in a minute with Sophie.